This is Metro by T-Mobile on Polk.
Please enter your
A lot of
remote
stores
access
will not
code.
answer the phone for me. This is the third store I tried to call. Metro by T-Mobile, that any kind of help to get my real calls is not tolerated. Any kind of reporting the headphone network, they are not playing games with that because that's vital for this corruption.
Record your message
So I'm
and
not
press
able
pound,
to speak with these
or
stores.
press star
And
to
then they give me a
contact the
hard time in
operator.
person.
Call
This is the fourth number.
972-773-9192 has been changed. The new number is unknown.
This is the second time I've got that. Fifth location. Hello. I have some problems. Some crime. What location are you?
450 Highway 67, Denver, Texas.
Okay. I have a problem. I have my abusers able to contact my provider, all of them, and prevent me from being on the network. So I'm forced to speak with counterfeits. And you guys have been covering up for that years, as well as all my providers. The police used to intervene and interrupt it. So I just feel like I'm getting defrauded. It's not right for me to pay for services that you guys refuse to give me just because law enforcement enticed you to do it. So, but I do have another problem. I did have a new tablet that came up missing. My environments are controlled. So a tablet came up missing in the location off Polk, would not give me any evidence that it was stolen. Then lied to me. I said, please make sure you cut that tablet off because I don't want that other party having access that stole it to my personal information. He lied and did not cut it off. So several months later, I found out that I was still getting billed for the tablet, and he didn't cut it off. He blatantly lied to me. I like to do a complaint, but they won't answer the phone. So I said, I need evidence because my environments are controlled, so I have crazy things going on. And that person I had just started recording my calls. So when I got that tablet, so someone came into this location and stole my tablet. But this is a repetitive thing for me, but I don't appreciate going into Metro PCS and then staff covering for it and blatantly lying.
Ma'am, for that things that you're telling me, you will either have to go to a corporate store or call 611 because we are limited to certain things. The things that you're telling me, launching a campaign and all these things, these are not my admin. For that, we have corporate stores, like official Metro stores. And
they're not. I don't appreciate for Metro to let the government entice them to commit crimes with them, sir. I'm not quite sure. I'm not getting anything resolved at the corporate stores. I'm networked back to these corporate stores that are controlled. I don't think that the president and the CEOs at Metro by T-Mobile would be happy with their staff taking bribes or whatever that was going on to be enlisted to commit crimes with the police department and government. It is criminal to hack a network. And for providers to be enlisted in that criminal activity is sick. You have a responsibility if I'm paying you. If I can get an attorney, I would be able to sue the everlasting days off of you guys. To openly, repetitively, over and over again, deprive me of investigation and any support with all this chaos when my phone was shutting off in emergencies and all this chaos going on, depriving me of any technical support. That is a clear-cut lawsuit. Knowing full-blown well my life is in jeopardy, and still I have not received technical support for years. No kind of investigation, period. And then to go in there and report to this man that someone came in and stole my tablet, he deprived me of any evidence, period. None at all. Would not give me anything. He wouldn't. I said I want something showing that I had to reactivate. He wouldn't give me nothing, period. And I requested it. He covered for it. In addition to that, I said, please make sure this tablet is off. It's vital. And he lied and kept it on.
You came into this store to get
it's the location on Polk. They won't answer the phone. People keep ignoring my complaints and covering for all of my experience. I think someone in the environment to steal my tablet and then had enticed Metro PCS to cover for it and not give me any evidence. Then lie about not cutting my tablet off. I don't want an abusive stalker to be able to control all these environments. I think it's sick. And I think that it's sick that you are depriving me of any assistance to get off this counterfeit network. And it's criminal.
But the thing is that I don't have any access to those things. I
Okay, well, you do have a responsibility if a crime is being committed by staff. How do I report it? The corporate location. What's your name?
My name is Nick.
Okay, so I'm telling you that a multitude, a gang of staff are committing crimes, and you're telling me that there's just to go to corporate. There's no place. How can I write the president or the C? We need to escalate because multiple different branches are committing crimes. It's criminal to allow someone I don't know who's enticing these people to do it. You just can't decide as a provider you're going to violate someone and allow someone to be on a counterfeit network to where they're not receiving their calls properly. I asked for a call history because a lot of my calls aren't being returned and I was deprived of that. You just can't cover for a tablet getting stolen, a new tablet, and your Metro PCS.
That's why I'm saying you have to go to a corporate store. That's nothing that I can do from my
Okay, the corporate store isn't working. I want to escalate it past. I'm not being heard. I'm not being heard. Repetitively, people keep covering. I don't know why you would be rude, and I just told you that stores are covering up for crimes. I don't know why you're not astonished.
I'm not being rude, man. The thing is that
have you ever heard of stores covering up for crimes?
I don't have any access. You're trying to get.
Have you ever heard of any store that is covering for crimes? Have you ever heard of multiple Metro PCS stores covering for criminal activity? Isn't that amazing to you?
But I don't have the access to that thing. That's the problem.
Yeah, I went in person. They haven't had the access for years, sir. You have a responsibility that doesn't make sense. No one has had the access. If you're a provider, you have a responsibility to make sure I'm on the network and not cover for it.
I don't have the. Again, the same thing. I don't have access to that. I am a dealer. I'm not a corporate store. I'm just a dealer. We sell more.
Okay, well, sir, hold on. Dissect. Hold on. Okay, I've heard this year, sir. I'm pressed for time. How do I report that multiple staff are committing crimes with the government? How do I report and get the criminal activity? Hacking the phone network is a crime. Are you aware of that? And you work at Metro PCS?
You can. I don't. No, you can launch a police complaint against that store. You can do. You can.
I'm reporting to. I would like to be able to report to you. It's your network that's getting hacked. Why don't you guys care?
But I'm just an authorized dealer. There are 10,000 authorized dealers in all over America. I mean, we cannot do anything. Those are corporate stores which can take the complaints, which are official Metros. We are just the dealers who take stuff from Metro.
Okay, hold on. Let me finish talking. This has been happening years. I just want to know how I report the crime that's being committed. Why will no company, no department, no corporate, period, no one accept the fact that their own network is being hacked, which is a crime?
See, I'm going to give you two numbers. One is the corporate number and one is the official Metro number. Try calling both of them and they can take your complaint and launch them like that.
They won't, sir. I want to be able to go because what's happening is I'm on this counterfeit network with only parties that cover for crimes and they get away with it because a lot of parties haven't heard of that. So I want to be able to go in so people can get the charges they deserve.
Okay, I can give you the address of that corporate store.
Okay, let's see what they are and see if it's ones that covered for it. Let's see.
105 South Cedar Ridge.
Okay, they covered for it, sir. They called the police.
The corporate store, they have the most access.
They covered for it, sir. I'm pressed for time. They covered for it. They called the police to enforce crimes. Okay, go ahead. They covered for it. That's not going to be a good store.
Yeah, it's 105 South Cedar Ridge.
See, this is a counterfeit call. I told him multiple times. He's directed me to a problem. This has been going on years, so I know that these calls are counterfeited. That's why they're never shocked at the chaos I report. Sir, that's not a good store. I've said that repetitively. They covered for the crimes.
The only address I know of, I don't know any other store.
We'll find out, sir. I don't find out, sir. It's not funny, but you have to laugh to keep from crying. That's the only store on the planet that call the police to enforce crimes. This is clear cut hacking the phone, and they can get away with it because no one knows that people can counterfeit calls. You got to see it to believe it.
That I know of. There could be millions of corporate stores.
Sir, because when I go in person, they direct me to problems. They're dishonest and won't tell me what. I went into a store and she didn't even want me to know where the corporate stores were. So that's pretty sick for all these stores to cover for these crimes. And then I go all over the place and then someone contacts them. Sir, I just told you that multiple staff are committing crimes and you're covering for it, talking over me being rude. I have never heard of anything like my experience outside of actually experiencing it. I don't know why repetitively places I call, they're prepared waiting on me and they're not shocked of my experience. I have just told you that multiple staff have been committing crimes to deprive me of being on the network that I'm paying for. I have just told you I reported that my tablet was stolen to a Metro PCS worker that I don't know, and he covered for it and lied about taking my phone off, disconnecting my phone, and kept it on. So this party had access to all of my personal information, and I was paying for them to use my tablet that I no longer had because he blatantly lied. Are you there?
I'm with the customer, ma'am. Can you please hold up?
So, the disregarding thing. That's what he likes. He's with another customer that's more important than staff committing crimes and covering for a tablet being stolen and a hacked network, which is a crime. He has better things to do than to listen to that. But these are the scammers I'm allowed to speak with that enforce crimes. I'm just letting you guys see what I go through. I know that it's probably hard to believe that a random person trying to report their new tablet that got stolen because they were recording all the interaction they had over the phone, that someone can come in and send someone to a location that I was forced to live in out of corruption. I had a sober living house. And you got to see this to believe it. In Thanksgiving, they served up this massive dinner for everyone. And I was really thankful, because I didn't have family. So everyone got all this food. They forgot about me. Then when it was time for me to they forgot about me. Then after everyone ate their food, got their food, there was kind of nothing left. In addition to that, they said that I would have to pay for mine. And I said, have to pay for it? And I waited, for this big meal. They had all kinds of different things. And they told me that I would have to pay for my plate. Everyone else, there was like maybe 15 people there. But this is how I get treated. I don't talk about it because I just don't think it's realistic. How can you talk all these people into violating an individual like this? It just doesn't sound realistic. You have to have a lot of power that you're able to abuse to pull off this chaos. To send someone to a sober living place that they're forced to live in out of corruption, to steal a new tablet. They go up to Metro, the staff cover for it, and leaves the tablet on, jeopardizing that person's personal information that's on the tablet. So you just have to see this to believe it. No one would believe it. Then you call to report all the criminal activity and then scammers enforcing other crimes on the phone. So back to the sober living place I was forced to live in. They've tried to make me pay for all the food that everyone else got free. I don't talk about these things because they're not realistic. He hung up. He had to get it more important. You got to see it to believe it. So this is why I can't communicate to you guys my experiences, because they're not believable. So a lot of things I'm just not able to tell you about. How did they allow someone to randomly come in and steal my tablet at the sober living place I was forced to live in? Why would they isolate me and deprive me of the gathering that everyone else could be in? But they left me out intentionally to disregard and violate on Thanksgiving, which if you've ever been lost or without your family, those are hard times. But some kind of way I got slipped through the cracks and they left me out. So number one, I got left out. Then all the food was gone. Okay. Then they told me for the food that was left, that was really minute, that I had to pay for it. I was the only one. I said, clearly, I have no value with you people here for you to try to bully me and force me to pay for food because they also were rude. So then I said, if I don't have any value and you want me to force for food, I will not eat your food. Don't worry about it. Any other gatherings for people that are important to you, you can have them come, but obviously I'm not welcome and I won't come back. So then when I was talking, they slammed the door in my face. Then I guess someone sat on it, thought about it. They told me to come over and take a plate. Go ahead and get a plate. I left. So they had time to realize that was kind of sick, So then they told me to come get a plate, and it was basically hardly nothing. I didn't even eat it because it was scraps, and all the good food was gone, and they gave me the leftovers and probably put up the good, anything that was good and edible. They gave me the worst of the things that people didn't want, and I didn't even eat it. So, but I waited all day. I had an option. I could have went out to eat, but they made up this huge feast. which I wasn't able to take part. You got to see it to believe it, but multiple other locations have done things like this. I just can't report it because it's not believable. So anyway, that is trying to report my phone network is hacked. My provider's covered for it, and the police. It is vital that I talk to these scammers because my experiences are not believable. And if anyone with integrity gets a hold of a whiff or of what I'm going through, this is appalling. And most parties would not tolerate such chaos by the government. So they have to make sure I talk to counterfeits and people that don't have a problem covering for it.